Happy 2018! That was a little loud, John. I can't help it, I'm just so excited, friends. It has been a little while since we've had a video together. Back in October, I believe, when I let you know about the book that I was about to write, or I was writing it, but it was nowhere near finished. That was a long time ago. That was several pounds ago, as you can probably tell. The writing life has not been good to me, or very good to me. Went offline for a little while, stopped making videos, stopped doing so much on social media, because I really wanted to focus on getting my book done, and it is, sort of. After about 5 drafts and 50,000 words and change, about a week or so ago, I sent my final manuscript to my editor. Her name's Jane. She's awesome. I'll tell you how I feel about Jane after I get that manuscript back, but I'm sure she's awesome. So my manuscript is sitting with Jane, and now I have nothing to do. So I'm gonna make a video. In fact, I'm gonna be making quite a few more videos in the coming months, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But first, let's talk just for a second about 2017. 2017 was a dumpster fire. And I'm not gonna get political on this channel, because I believe there are people of all kinds of political persuasions maybe watching my video, and the tour is for everybody, and we can agree to disagree. People are entitled to all sorts of political opinions, as long as we can agree that the correct ones are mine. But for many people, it was a hard year. We had hurricanes. We had fire here in California. Earthquakes? Not so much. Not here. Maybe, like, I think someplace had earthquakes. There was like the Book of Kings type stuff. There's like an earthquake and fire and wind. Super scary. Of course, in Southern California, fire and earthquakes are considered weather. So it was a hard year, barring politics. Although, you know, it was nice to see the Nazis out again. Not. We saw more Nazis this year than I saw in my YouTube comments. Ha! Made you look. They're not there anymore. I deleted and reported them. Later, Nazis. Alt wrong. But aside from global cataclysm, political upheaval, a sharp rise in anger and rhetoric, I know a lot of people personally who had tough years. Good friend of mine lost somebody to gun violence this week. Another good friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer. Thank God everybody in my immediate family's been healthy. I did lose an aunt and an uncle this year. If you really want to poke through my hot mess, I wrote a blog article about my family's difficult year, and I'll link that in the description below. But the point that I make in that blog post, and the point that I want to make here, is that no matter what kind of year you had in 2017, you can turn that around in 2018. And I'm going to tell you right now how I'm doing that, and I hope that that inspires you, and I hope you listen to me, and I'd encourage you to do that in your own life. How are you going to turn your tragedies into triumphs in 2018? The tactic that I'm taking this year, I learned from another clergy person, Pastor Rick Warren. Rick Warren is the pastor of Saddleback Church, a great big church down in Orange County, also in California. A few years ago, I was privileged that my rabbinical school class got to take a field trip to Saddleback Church to learn how Pastor Rick built his church and builds community to this day. And one of his tactics that he shared with us is that when you're setting goals, set faith-based goals. What is a faith-based goal? I want to read more of the Bible. Gotta pray more praying. All worthy, but not what he was talking about. Faith-based goal is a goal that is so audacious, so beyond human capacity to achieve, that it's going to take an act of God to make it come true. Like, if you really want God to help you with your business or your diet or your relationships or whatever, you need to set goals that are so big that they can only happen if God helps you. This is how he grew the membership of his church. This is how he grew his influence and impact on the community by, as they say, 10xing. That's Rick blowing up by a factor of 10 or 100 or 1,000, like the sort of minimal doable goals that they articulated in those committee meetings. Those committee meetings, like I was there, no, like, but you know those committee meetings. So whatever goals you think you have this year, if you really want to blow the doors off, you need to set those higher, ratchet those up by a factor of 10 or 100 or 1,000. And they may seem ridiculous, but if you set those as your goals and you're willing to ask for help, whether it be from a higher power, whether it be reaching out to your social network, you will be shocked at how things seem to bend around your goal. How opportunities present themselves, relationships present themselves. A friend of a friend of a friend knows exactly how to do what you want to do. When you set those audacious goals and you really put your heart into them and you open yourself up for help, you'd be surprised how those outcomes can materialize. And even if they don't, even if you get like halfway there, you're already way ahead of what you wanted to do for the year. So here are my faith-based goals for 2018. Now, as an aside, I'm a big fan, as you may know, of Simon Sinek and his book, Start With Why. Before you do a thing or try to get somebody else to do a thing, you need to first talk about why you do what you do, how you do it, and then the what. I'm going to flip that because I'm so excited about telling you my audacious goal for 2018. My goal is to help 10,000 people change their lives, preferably for the better. But that's it. At first I thought, okay, if I can get 100 people to change their lives, that'd be great. They're like, 100? If I wanted to change 100 people's lives, I could just like go to Ralph's on a busy shopping day and dump over the egg display. I wouldn't do that. You shouldn't either. But that's it. That's my stake in the ground. That's my line in the sand. Those are my chips on the table. 10,000 people I want to help change their lives. How am I going to do that? You're looking at it, friend. That's right, YouTube. Plus, remember that blog I mentioned before? Never been good about keeping up a blog, but this year I'm really going to try. And back in the day, a couple years ago, I was doing podcasts, and I had a lot of fun with that. This time I think I want to do an interview show. And I've been doing some research and working with some teachers and mentors on how to make that happen. So here's my how. How am I going to help change 10,000 lives for the better? In 2018, I will put out 365 YouTube videos, as well as 365 blog posts. Finally, I'm going to record for my podcast 365 interviews. That's interviews with 365 people. Now, the podcast is about 8 to 12 weeks out from launching, so I'm not going to have 365 shows, but I'm at least going to do the interviews for 365 shows. That sounds like a lot. Well, guess we better get started. And as far as videos are concerned, that's now 364. So this is it. Sleeves rolled up, chips on the table, line in the sand. Wait, I almost forgot. Why am I doing this? Because over 2017, various experiences that I've had, personal challenges, as well as enlightening learning with other rabbis and other people of all stripes, I figured out my credo, my belief, what I believe in my heart of hearts, and that is that everyone, everywhere, has the right and the ability to grow personally, to achieve greater human connection, to live a meaningful life, and to experience more joy. And I believe that the wisdom and the traditions that have been handed down by the Jewish people for thousands of years help people to do all of those things, and those traditions and that wisdom is available to everyone, everywhere. That's why I wrote the book that I wrote. It's based on that premise. That's why I make the videos that I make. That's why I write the articles that I write. I don't assume that anybody watching this channel is Jewish. If you are and you're getting something out of it, that's fantastic. If you're not, I hope you get some stuff out of this too. And because this stuff has changed my life so profoundly over the, let's say, a little bit more than 20 years that I've been involved in the Jewish community, because my teachers have put so much into me, have taught me so much Torah, have taught me how to be a teacher, and invested so much in my success, I feel like I owe it to them, I owe it to my rabbis, I owe it to all the people who've been so kind to me along the way to teach it to you. You and 9,999 of your closest friends. If you don't have that many friends, I will accept frenemies. So that's it, Seeker. That's my 2017 in the rear view. That's my 2018 in preview. Super excited to continue this conversation with you tomorrow. Super excited to get my book out in late March. If you want to know more about that, click the link to the book squad in the description below. If you do that today, you might get a chance to vote on my book cover. Can you imagine the power you have? And of course, if you want to know more about any of the Jewish topics that I talk about, please subscribe to this channel. You never know what side that button is on. Mash the picture of my face in the lower corner so you will get updated automagically every time I make a video, and there's gonna be a lot of them. Until next time, Seeker, peace.